You join me here today at Bournemouth University on the south coast of England. Although not the largest university, Bournemouth is highly respected and often recommended, resulting in almost 20,000 students currently enrolled. It might look busy now. 4 years ago, Bournemouth, as well as all the other universities around England, looked like this. This, as we all know, was due to the work of COVID-19, a deadly virus that turned once busy campuses into ghost towns. We're going to talk to Tom Stone, a workshop leader here at Bournemouth. A few years ago, Tom was in charge of all the COVID protocols at the university. Now, I'm going to ask him a few questions and find out what it was really like running this place through such a challenging time. Hi Tom, thank you for taking the time to do this interview with us. Would you mind introducing yourself and what your role within the university is?
Sure. My name is Tom Stone. I'm a teacher here at Bournemouth University. I teach craft skills, so that's like practical-based workshops for camera, lighting and sound.
What sort of problems did COVID bring to your workshops?
What I do massively, because everything I do is practical-based, so before COVID it was always face-to-face workshops. Lots of moving around of people and sharing of equipment, so COVID made all that stuff virtually impossible.
Did you adapt anything to video calls or online content to benefit your students?
Yeah, I did adapt my teaching to online, but it was a massive challenge, and I don't think it was the best service we could provide to students. Because they just can't get their hands on equipment. So imagine trying to teach someone how to use a camera or how to set up lighting, and no one has access to any cameras or lighting.
How long until after the initial lockdown was it until you could bring back your face-to-face workshops?
I think it was probably the best part of 2 years. I can't really remember off the top of my head how long it lasted for now, but I think it was about 1.5 or 2 years. Yeah. And it took a long time and lots of conversations and meetings, because we were sort of priority for getting back onto campus. Anything that wasn't critical, as they said, could remain online. So like, for example, your lectures, where lecturers are just talking at the front, stayed online for a long time afterwards. But they got practical workshops up and running much before that. Face-to-face, but with like loads of restrictions in place, so people couldn't get close to each other. People had to wear masks. We had to spray down all the kit with alcohol spray before and after every workshop. It was a headache.
How do you feel about COVID looking back at it now?
It just feels weird. It feels like there's just like a mass, like something that was missing from everyone. It's sort of a common thing that everyone went through. It's almost like 2 years where nothing happened. It's just like wiped from our memories almost. And I think the ramifications of COVID are still sort of rippling through society now. With like the cost of living crisis, probably COVID had an impact on that. But also just I think students probably don't realise the impact it had on them, because we as teachers have the benefit of, or the perspective to see what students were like, what students are normally like going through their studies, and the students that went through COVID and how they're slightly different, or it's kind of like, I don't know, it's harder to, I don't know, some of those students need a little bit more support, let's say.
As we've heard from Tom, when lockdown hit, both teachers and workshop leaders were working tiresomely to get the workshops back to what they once were. They were having a hard time teaching a practical session in this new digital format, where the students were unable to hold the equipment hands-on. However, it wasn't just the teachers that had such a hard time. Join us now for a different perspective, where we meet Tia Carr, a fourth-year media production student whose first year of university was during the pandemic. Tia, thank you very much for joining us. So, how did COVID affect your first year at university?
Affected it in loads of different ways. Obviously learning like remotely, online. That was annoying because you couldn't meet your classmates in person, and hardly anyone would join the lessons online as well. So it was a bit difficult joining them, and we'd be put into different rooms online, on Zoom, because you get different rooms on there. So it was, when we got put in those, nobody would talk because we didn't know each other, so it would just be silence. So we wouldn't really be doing anything.
How did COVID affect your social life at university?
Yes, I wasn't able to make many friends in that year, obviously, apart from my flatmates. However, a lot of people would go to other people's flats when they weren't allowed to, so there'd be a lot of house parties that were not allowed. So that's the only way that I was able to meet other people.
As we've now heard from both Tom and Tia, Bournemouth University faced many trials through the pandemic. Both students and teachers alike were forced to work in conditions they'd never before seen. However, in the spirit of Bournemouth University, everyone strived through the events, displaying resilience and determination. The events of COVID were truly tragic. However, if Bournemouth University ever has to go back into lockdown, we know they can handle it.